Hey fellas, Rusty coming at you. Today we're going to take a look at a pretty special knife as far as I'm concerned in the history of knives. And this is a Parker Frost from the preferred stock. So I've pretty much collected all the patterns that were done that were related to this knife. This one is the Fisherman, the Muskrat, which a lot of people think of as a fishing knife. And let's just talk about this knife. We'll get started. This was 1978. So that's what we're looking at there. It says 1978-3. There were 4 patterns. The Muskrat, there was a single bladed trapper, a double bladed trapper, and a stockman. And if you guys have watched me before, those were they had blade etches on them. This one says Johnny Muskrat, and the blade etches would have been the Mink is on the trapper. Little Bandit is on the single bladed trapper, and Bison is on the stockman. This is Johnny Muskrat, and all of these are going to be done by an artist named Frank Gironi. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, his signature is right under the MUSK, if you can see that. He puts his signature or first initial in there. So what do we have here? We have the Tang stamp, Parker Frost USA on this side, and green bone. Now you would have had green, brown, or red bone. And I have a trapper that's called the Mink from Parker Frost 1978. Also green bone, and I love the bone on it. And this one I actually like more. It's not as dark. You can see more marbling. Hopefully you're seeing that here. And just the way they finish it truly is like glass. Let's go ahead and take a peek. My opinion, the finish on these is just professional grade. The blades are centered, and here we go. We'll open that up. The action is so smooth. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can. Okay, so that's good. We already took a look at this, but let's see if we can see the blade grinds. Kind of have this belt finish on there. Now 1978 to 2004 is 22. What are we at? 46 years old. It's a nice flat, slender, skinny grind, and still sharp. Good contact here. I think what we're looking at is a little piece of a microfiber rag that got stuck in there. Smooth transitions, or no stepping. And I should point out another funny thing. It says Schrade right there. And that was a little bit of a bone of contention because these were Parker Frost knives. And trying to get that. There we go. Got her. So I got that. Parker Frost went to Schrade and had these built. And then Schrade put a Tang stamp on there, and Jim Parker and James Frost kind of had a little disagreement over that. The whole deal almost fell through, from my understanding. So, all right, this side, excellent, no stepping. It has a little bit of a cant down. So when we take a peek, You guys can see that. Same sort of blade grind. This particular one has a little bit more, I don't know what we'll call it. Let's see if we can see. I think it was this one. Yeah, there's a tiny spot right here where my thumb is. Maybe corrosion. I'm gonna have to work on that. And just some stuff in the blade from not being taken care of. Very good springs. We don't have a half stop. Well, let's see how. All right, there is the snap. We're gonna get out a comparison knife and I'll be right back. And we're back. And I thought, hey, if we're gonna get a comparison knife, let's get a quality one. I had heard that these cost $25 in 1978, and this one would have cost around $50, about 10 years later. See if we can find that. Yeah, this is 1988. This is a Winchester, and it's not really it's called a Texas jack knife is what they're calling this one. I'm kind of calling it a swell center moose. So it's going to be a little different, but these were made by Queen Cutlery. It's a Winchester knife. We're not going to have that here, but we'll see if I can clean that up. We have a clip point blade. I think we'll get out, why don't we get out this one, shall we? And we'll take a peek there. How are we looking? About the same size. The Parker Frost is going to be stainless steel, and the Queen or the Winchester is going to be carbon steel. You can tell Queen is got more of a polish on it, and I think the way they do their cant down on this, they don't do much of that. So we'll fold this up. This one has a half stop and blade centering, and I'm getting these out. I got videos on these, and here we go. And we'll pull out the primary blade on the Muskrat, and we'll take a peek. You can see how Winchester, I think this Schrade knife does a better blade edge. Let's see. Oh, they even beat this right here. There's some stepping on that, but when it comes to fit and finish, as far as gaps and so on, not bad, pretty good. And then we'll take a peek at the bone, shall we? This bone on the Winchester is what they call Utica bone, old bone. It was believed to have been, let's see, cut, dyed, and jigged all between 1910 and 1930, stored in barrels, Utica. And Queen went and got it for a authentic reproduction. They came across the bone and started using that in there when they went and reproduced these knives. And it's believed to have been cut on the Rogers jigging machine. So you might see it's called Rogers. And in this case, I think this is a peach seed jigging. What I want to say we're looking at there. So, hey, we're going to go ahead and get these out. Kind of a little fun, my opinion, to see a Muskrat, how the blade kind of curves a little more. This one's a little more straight, this one's a little more curve, and we'll compare that to this one. See what we get there. Yeah, we get a little bit of a fake cat down. I don't know that there's no bend in the handle. It shoots straight off, and then the blade kind of does point down, but it's certainly not like on this Frost. Okay, stay tuned and I'll show you how this looks in the box. Here we are taking a look at how this knife came. This is a Parker Frost Preferred Stock Series. It says Parker Frost Cutlery. It's a genuine bone stag. What they're advertising that as. And 1978-3. Again, they made 4 different patterns out of this, and what we're looking at here is kind of a yellow felt, but it doesn't hold it down very well. So just kind of take a peek at that, and there we are in a nutshell. Just cardboard. Hey, I forgot to mention something. In 1981, Schrade did something similar. They did a blade etch. They did a single-bladed trapper, double-bladed stockman, and a muskrat, known as the fisherman, the lumberman, the miner, the farmer, and the rancher. And that was a 5-part series of Schrade's tradesmen, they call it, a tradesman series. And between Parker Frost and Schrade, I've collected all the patterns, so go check out the other videos. Thanks, guys.